Bishop, delegates, it's good to be with you here again. The circumstances that brought this about is CJAMM is between executive directors right now. The board reached out and asked me to deliver the report, which I am honored to do. As always, the report is a thank you for your financial support and your volunteer hours. This ministry could not exist otherwise. It's about the people of the church rolling up their sleeves in labor-intensive ministry with sometimes unruly children, oppositional inmates, and very restrictive correctional authorities. That's what our volunteers go through. And our report, the purpose is always to present to you the fruit of the ministry. This year, we have not only fruit, but the people who speak are now fruit bearers. Our first speaker is Crystal King.
Hello, Oklahoma Conference.
Just talk over it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. So, several of the many things that incarceration takes from you is your individuality, your dignity, and your belonging. For years, I was Sweden number 8572386. I began attending Redemption Church as an inmate on a giant school bus drove by one of the then volunteers that saw me as a person. There are multiple ladies in this room whose touch changed my life because you came into my life at a time when I was carrying shame from years of criminal behavior, addiction. I was a childless mother. I wasn't dependable. There was lots of shame I carried with me. And when I walked through the doors at Redemption Church and I saw people like Teresa Owens, Brad Rogers, some of the other ladies, Robin Wirtz, some of the other ladies in this room, it made such an impact on my life that today I'm the administrator of Penn Avenue Redemption Church. I am also the program leader for Redemption Church, our prison ministry. Thank you. I was one of those oppositional inmates Stan referred to. So my husband was also an inmate at that time, and he is now the associate pastor at Redemption Church, Kadesh King. Another ministry of CJAMM that benefited my life was I transitioned immediately into Exodus House OKC upon my release from prison. Robin Wirtz, who was my case manager and now probably one of my best friends, made a total change in my life. Exodus House is the difference between somebody making it and somebody not. Exodus House provides people coming out of incarceration everything you need to walk into your apartment and begin life. Things that we don't think about: paper towels, a skillet, dishes, just the basics that we all take for granted in our homes every day. Now, 10 years later, from my release from prison, I hope that I am one of the women and one of the people that impart on those inmates that attend with us that they do belong, that they are a person, that they are more than the mistakes they made, they're more than the charges they carry, and they are definitely more than their DOC number. Thank you.
Our second witness is Cedric Shields. I didn't much recognize him. I think he was 10 years old when I met him.
Okay, hello. So I'm not going to tell you how old I am now, but I was once a 10-year-old boy excited for New Day Camp. My twin brother and I attended both New Day Camp 1 and New Day Camp 2. After New Day Camp 2, I couldn't imagine not going to camp, not having New Day Camp in my life, which is how I think I ended up being one of the first teen counselors. Camp meant a lot to me. It allowed me to be around other kids who were in similar home situations. It introduced me to fellowship and worship and just allowed me to be a kid. Some of these things, obviously, not all of us campers got to do at home. One thing I'm still grateful for New Day Camp is, as a kid, we all knew what we were there for. We all had at least one parent in jail, But the counselors, camp staff never made us feel like that, never made us feel less than. Camp also introduced me to one of my favorite people, my first counselor, Carlita Dennison. She showed me that counselors didn't stop caring just because camp ended. And I practice this at home, and every time I mention her, I cry, so I'm sorry. She continued to take me to church. She treated me like family, and she let me know it was okay to just be me. I was a sweet little nerdy boy, and I loved it. Thank you. I always say that I truly wouldn't be where I am without Carlita Dennison, which means I wouldn't be where I am without New Day Camp. I was the first to graduate college in my family. I have a great career, and I still do. Thank you. And I still develop and maintain friendships based on the kindness she rooted in me. She also introduced me to my favorite cookie, the Snickerdoodle. That is why I have signed up to be a camp counselor this year. It's been about 30 years, and Carlita is still volunteering and doing amazing work. We've kept in touch over the years, and I see the pictures each year, and my hope and goal is to be what she was to me, to the campers that I get to interact with this year. Thank you.
Cedric lives in Texas, and he was so willing to share his story. He's driven up here to do that. It's going to drive back and then go on to New Day Camp, so we really appreciate that. When I describe the conditions of our ministry, it is a ministry where you're never really sure how God is going to provide. I remember when Cedric was at New Day Camp the first year, and I was a dean, and this older man who had a small group called me over, all upset, saying, "This little boy will not go to bed, and he's disrupting the whole cabin." And I'm the dean. I'm supposed to know how to fix this. You know, I never learned that in seminary. And this child starts walking down the road. And so I go after him, and I say, "Well, you know, that's a good idea. When you're not sleepy, you can walk. I do that." I'm not sure that was true, but that's what I told him. And then I said, "Tell you what, I will walk with you all the way to town if that's what you want." And I was hoping he wouldn't take me up on that offer. But I said, "The deal is, when you turn around, you go to bed. That's the deal." I had the flashlight, and I said, "You know, we need the flashlight. It's dark around here, but copperheads are attracted to the flashlight. So be sure and watch where you step." And then I said, "You know, remember that we've got this skunk that's been hanging around camp all week. So keep your eyes open for the skunk." And we walked a little further. All of a sudden, I felt this tug on my sleeve, and he goes, "Is that skunk?" "Oh, thank you, Lord." "Yeah, that is the skunk." And he turned around, and he went to bed, and that was the end of it, and God provided. I said we would say a little bit more about the transition in CJAMM. I want to thank Lisa Rhodes, my former assistant director, who has served as interim director these past couple of months, who's on her way to New Day Camp. And our new director takes her position on June the 15th. She is Shannon Davis. You need to know that Shannon attended Redemption Church last night. She visited Exodus House before she ever accepted the job. She is on her way to New Day Camp to be with a small group. And that kind of dedication before you get your first paycheck, I find really, really impressive. I have behind me over here, Kat Davis, who is going to be the new CJAMM camp director. And this lady hiding over here is Teresa Owens, who came to Redemption Church out of prison. She wasn't an Exodus House grad, but she is kind of the female Peter of Redemption Church. She's been our board chair for a number of years. I don't know where we are on time. If you would allow the new director to say something, it's up to you. We're done? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.